Welcome to the 23-24 Transfer Advisory Board report for San Diego Mesa College. We are going to go over some welcome introductions, students talk transfer, transfer basics, transfer programs, events, and services, what's new in the world of transfer, transfer data, and go over transfer resources for anybody interested in more transfer information. So we're going to move on to introductions. This is a picture from our transfer recognition luncheon just this past May. And today we have Joseph Pritchett from DSPS, and my name's Ann Hedekin. I'm a transfer center coordinator, counselor, and professor. We have Gabriel Adona is with us today, and Tracy Tuttle, professor of accounting, and Gabriel is a professor and counselor. Other staff members in the Transfer Center who are not with us today are Mary Garcia, Macy Gerber, Bang, Jackie Washley, Darcy Flores, and Olivia Picola. All right, and you can find us on the 3rd floor of the Student Services building in the I-400 building. Our phone number is 619-388-2473. We're just an email away or a click on our webpage as well. We also have Linktree and we're on all social media. And I am going to toss this over to Tracy.
Hi, so we're going to talk some about what students have to say about transfers. So one of our students said the Transfer Center provided valuable assistance during the entire transfer process. While I used to be quite shy, sometimes you just need to step out of your comfort zone and take a chance. A second student said, I am very appreciative for 2 staff members. Thank you both very much. I will always remember the compassion and patience that these 2 human beings have shown me. A third student said, I sincerely appreciate every person in the Transfer Center. Without your help, it was impossible to get into UC schools. Thank you so much. And then finally, a student said, I'm really grateful for the Transfer Center and helping me in this intimidating process. So we're going to talk a little bit about transfer basics, and there is another picture from our transfer recognition luncheon. We're going to talk about the Mesa transfer mission and goals, transfer goals, and transfer culture. We're going to define. We're going to discuss the steps to transfer and transfer ed plan requirements. All right, so first we're going to look at the Transfer Center mission and goals. The Transfer Center mission statement is the San Diego Mesa College Transfer Center is the focal point of transfer activities and up-to-date information for our diverse college community. We provide resources and support to empower students to become experts of their transfer educational goals and transition to a 4-year institution. So the center goals themselves are to empower students, faculty, staff, and administrative with transfer knowledge to create a stronger transfer culture at Mesa and therefore increase the number of transfer students. We want to increase the level of services to meet the demand of transfer students and strengthen partnerships and collaborations with the greater transfer community. And then we're also going to talk about how transfer centers are charged with promoting campus-wide goals that support transfer centers and strong transfer culture. So identify and increase the number of students who choose to transfer. That's probably one of the biggest things to identify. Are they prepared to transfer? Ensure the inclusion of low-income, disabled, first-generation college students, and students who are identified by the student equity data for each college as having disproportionate impact. To define transfer culture, we state that this collective dedication of administration, faculty, counselors, and support staff to moving students from community college to 4-year institutions is referred to as the transfer culture. Simply put, the stronger the culture, the higher rates of transfer. And that factors contributing to a transfer culture include counselor advisement, faculty involvement, student interaction and engagement, and transfer center support.
Great, thanks. And now we'll throw it over to Joe.
All right, so with that, we need steps to transfer. So first thing that we need to do is decide on what we're trying to do. Are we going to go for a career or go for a major and transfer to a university? Next is selecting the university. Then you'll meet with the counselor and you'll develop an ed plan. And then complete the admissions application and apply for graduation if you're receiving an ADT. So what goes into an ed plan? Well, first, you need a minimum of 60 units. With the 60 units, you're going to have a general ed pattern, either the CSUGE pattern or the IGETSI. And roughly they're about 39 units each. Next, you're going to have your major prep. You're going to be either using the ADT, which has them outlined for you, or depending on the college you want to attend, you'll be using assist.org. And then lastly, if you don't have enough with your general ed and your major prep, then you're going to have transferable electives. And these electives are things that don't necessarily fit within the general ed or the major prep. They're just stuff that a lot of students might are interested in going into. So with all that, that should come up to 60 or plus. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Okay, now we're going to send it over to Gabriel. Oh, you're on mute.
So let's talk about what's new for transfer, which will include statewide legislation that is definitely and will definitely impact our transfer students. But new this year is a Mesa Mobile Transfer Library, which is a set of QR codes, which make it easier for the public, faculty, students, and staff to log into the Transfer Center resources. We had a transfer career evaluations open house with the Monsters, Inc. Theme, which went very well. There's a redesign for the Transfer Center webpage, a transfer link tree. Point Loma Nazarene University is now joining us with the Bachelor's in Business Administration, the Transfer Cafe Spring 2024 workshops. And what's new to the GE portion of the students' requirements will be IGETSI Area 7 Ethnic Studies requirement, which was added in the fall of 2023. And the upcoming fall of 25 CalGETSI change. AB 928 was the creation of a single GE pathway called the CalGETSI. That's going to impact our transfer students in a big way. We will now look at ADT recipients being required to use the CalGETSI. The CalGETSI GE pattern has been reduced to 34 units. Requirements that we removed were Area E, which was a big loss for Personal Growth 120 classes on campus, and then language other than English. The Cal State universities will not eliminate their CSU GE pattern. However, again, if the student is an ADT recipient, they will be required to use CalGETSI. When applying on CCC Apply, if an ADT exists in a major indicated on an application, the student will default into the ADT majors, but a student must opt out. Implementation of all of this will begin in the fall of 2025.
Okay, and I think this is me, transfer programs, events, and services. And this is a picture from our Monsters, Inc. Open house. So we just offer a lot of different programs. Now we kind of combine them online and face-to-face. So we have daily Zoom chats online. We call those transfer talks. We have the transfer fair in October. We do open labs October and November, online and face-to-face. We have a YouTube channel, so we're open 24/7. We do a transfer options fair in spring, and we really push a lot of degree completion programs. We just started the transfer shell a few years ago, and we're still perfecting it and working on that. We also have Transfer Tuesday emails, and we do a lot of counseling for the associate's degree in transfer. We have a final year transfer checklist, and we, of course, do a lot of the TAG transfer admission guarantee for the UCs. This is a picture of our spring transfer fair. Other direct support are appointments, drop-ins. We have 4-year rep visits. This year we had most of our visits were UC Berkeley, San Diego State, San Marcos, Point Loma, Grand Canyon, and UCLA. And again, one of our big face-to-face options and Zoom options, direct student support, are application open labs. And we do a lot of collaborations with Veteran Success Center, EOPS, Star Trio, and Umoja Puente, DSPS, and SEM students. And this year we did transfer cafes with the veterans the first Monday or Wednesday of the month, which were very successful. I talked a little bit about transfer options. Students are not forced to go into the old-fashioned brick and mortar college. They can do online hybrid programs, and there's a lot out there. The largest growing transfer population is some units, no credentials, so we could really kind of expand opportunities and help people complete their degrees in these areas. We just developed a new partnership with Point Loma Nazarene. As Gabriel mentioned, the Bachelor of Business Administration is a hybrid program hosted on campus. SDSU has discontinued the microsite programs, but they have beefed up all of their online degree programs. So they're adding more every year. So students can go fully online, and for child development and some of the engineering programs do hybrid. National University is a great partner also, and they offer wonderful scholarships for transfer students as well as people who work at Mesa College. So those are great ways to finish degrees. There's a vast amount of fully online programs. Cal State universities offer online programs. University of Maryland Global Campus, UMass Global, Arizona State, and Southern New Hampshire are some of the more popular ones that have good rates of completion and return for students. And then quickly, transfer data. Mesa is transfer strong. We continue to have around 53% of our students indicate they are interested in transfer. This past year, roughly 900 were admitted to UCs, over 700 were enrolled at CSU. We get different reporting on data. So the UCs tell us how many were admitted, and the CSUs tell us how many were enrolled. And then we found out in March, we had a little bit over 1,000 students were accepted to SDSU, and that includes students that have Mesa as their first campus, second and third campus, and sometimes it's hard to tell who is actually went where. And then we had a Jack Kent Cook scholarship winner. That's a very prestigious scholarship, and she's headed off to Stanford. And we had 198 workshops, 857 student attendees, over 500 counselor drop-ins, over 700 appointments, and 65 admissions representative visits. Our most popular transfer majors are business, psychology, biology, communication, multidiscipline studies like liberal arts, social sciences, sociology, political science, mathematics, and exercise science. Most popular transfer destinations for our Mesa students are San Diego State, UC San Diego, National, Cal State San Marcos, University of San Diego, UC Berkeley, UCLA, Point Loma Nazarene, San Francisco State, and Cal State Long Beach. Last year in fall of 23, we had a student attend or transfer to Stanford, and we have another transfer to Stanford who won the Jack Kent Cook scholarship, and that's Husna Ayobi, and that is a very wonderful accomplishment for her. So here's a picture of her and President Hands and some of our faculty. We have some resources included in this PowerPoint slide, which you can get off of the Mesa Transfer Center webpage under Counselor Resources. If you need to get more information and collect other data, you can find popular resources here, like the California Community College Transfer Chancellor's Office, their Data Mart, SDSU's Office of Institutional Effectiveness, UC Info Center, assist.org, and then the UCSD major page. Also, some great reports. There's 5 barriers to transfer within California schools, and it just kind of goes over how we can coordinate efforts and what faculty, staff, and administration across the state and across systems can do. to support transfer students. RP Group has several studies and transfer report from the San Diego Community College District is available, but the most recent one is 2020. And then there's the transfer dashboard for institutional effectiveness. And the links are all in here and can be found on the PowerPoint version, which will also be available on our council resources page as part of the Transfer Center. Just want to thank you for watching our report. And these are just some fun highlight pictures from the transfer recognition luncheon. So I think that's it. I just want to thank Tracy, Joe, and Gabriel for being here today and being a part of the Transfer Advisory Board. I really appreciate you guys. And I think that's a wrap. So just want to thank you all.